What's up, guys? Welcome back to G-Tech Finance. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. So today I don't have my red sweatshirt. I'm with the black one. It's washing. So there it is. The third stimulus check package has officially passed. Both chambers of Congress is now done with the stimulus package. The bill goes over to Joe Biden. Joe Biden is now planning on signing this bill on Friday. He's planning on signing this bill on Friday. So Joe Biden is planning on having a prime time event tomorrow evening, which is Thursday evening, March 11th, to mark the anniversary of the pandemic. And then we'll be signing the stimulus check package on Friday. I'm not exactly sure what the delay is between now and Friday. I kind of feel like, hey, Joe, why didn't you just walk into the house, sign it right now? The cameras are on, just walk there and sign. I don't know, maybe we want to do is a whole ceremony. Who knows? The government's really good at wasting our time, obviously. So we know. But it's worth just adding a little bit of extra clarity because we might not provide the details. The bill is including $410 billion for 1,400 stimulus checks going to both adults and dependents, which means college students who are dependents as well. Unless they're filing separately, anybody claiming they're like a dependent college student will receive this check. If you are filing with your parents, if you make less than $75,000 a year as an individual, but not more than $80,000 a year, you get the full $1,400 under $75,000, and obviously it phases out to $80K. If you make less than $112,500, you get the full $1,400 as a head of household. As long as you do not make more than $120,000, you'll have that phase out period there. And if you make less than $150K as a joint filer, you will get the full $1,400 check. And then the phase will be between $150,000 and $160,000 for joint filers. And $1,400 check could go out as soon as next week. Joe Biden is expecting to sign this Friday, so maybe that means it'll be a little bit later next week, as Joe Biden does say his priority is getting this bill out as soon as possible, getting it signed as soon as possible, getting these checks out as soon as possible, and he will not delay to have his name put on the check. He doesn't care whose name is on his check, and he just wants them to go out. This is something that Jen Psaki has stated today. Child tax credits in the amount of $250 per month per child under 18 and $300 per month for children under 6 will be in effect for the 2021 tax year. This tax credit may start getting distributed monthly starting July 1st. We do expect some sort of portal to be open to allow people to opt out of this or make changes for newly born children or who have outgrown the credit. You want to make sure that's accurate, otherwise you're going to have the money back on taxes. That's different from the stimulus checks. If you accidentally get overpaid on the stimulus checks, you get to keep it, but if you get overpaid on the child tax credit, you won't get to keep it. The bill also provides $4,000 to $800 or $800,000 or $8,000 tax credit for dependent care expenses. That could be adult dependents, as well as tax credits would be for 50 of expenses between $8,000 and $16,000. That basically means that if, let's say, you spend, I believe it's $4,000 for one child and up to $8,000 for two children. So let's say you spend $8,000 and you've got one child, you could get 50% of $4,000 in tax credits. Let's say you have two dependents, doesn't have to be children, and you spend up to $16,000 in dependent care expenses, you can get up to an $8,000 tax credit. And that benefit extends to families making up to $400,000 a year. The child tax credit and the stimulus checks have a similar phase outs around that 150 mark. Around 7% of the bill will go to vaccines, and vaccine funding for COVID treatment. Unemployment is getting extended by $300 per week through September 6th with a tax break of up to $10,200 in tax-free unemployment funding for those who received unemployment funding in 2020. The IRS is expected to roll out guidance for this within the next 2 to 3 weeks in terms of how to claim your refund if you've already filed your 2020 tax return. It is not clear yet that you would have to or would not have to file a tax return amendment, so I would stand by and wait for guidance so that you don't go through unnecessary work. There's also, the bill provides also the additional $7 billion in PPP funding. We have also heard that the application periods for the PPP will be extended another 3 months, which, remember, if you are a gig worker, you are eligible, and if you have a negative net income, you can now use your gross income, as long as, and it'll get rounded down to $100,000, making more than $100,000. It's a great opportunity to use the PPP. If you haven't yet, the fact that they're extending this means there's still time, there's still money in the pot to take. It's essentially free money, and you can YouTube search a lot of channels other than mine. If you didn't like my analysis about it, there's me, Kevin. He does me, Kevin PPP. It's great. So this bill, however, student loan forgiveness. So student loan debt, if it happens in the future, will be tax-free between now and 2025. That is something that Congress did sneak in this bill. It's that student loan forgiveness will not be taxed, will not be a taxable event, up to $10,000, not $50,000. There's no forgiveness now. We kind of have the groundwork laid. So there's no 200 Social Security boost too, despite this being something that Joe Biden had talked about regularly on the campaign trail. No 200 boost. It was also in his plan. Maybe it'll come back in the infrastructure plan, which is the next package. That will be a top priority for Congress. There is also no minimum wage change in this package, as well as no funding for Nancy Pelosi's transit system or Chuck Schumer's bridge. Well, folks, there you have it. Quick update on our third stimulus package passed. Congratulations. Hopefully you get this funding as soon as possible. And actually, stock market reacted quite well to it. And Bitcoin, it stayed stable, including the bond auction. That was not bad. Interest went down a bit. And so we had the bond auctions and the inflation number coming up. So officially they're quite low because velocity of money is still low, but once it's going to grow, once velocity of money is going to rise, I think we're going to see short-term spikes, but not more than that. And I think that's it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hope to see you guys next time.